President-elect Donald Trump definitely has some agenda items that are, in the middle ideologically that should be appealing to some of these Democrats. But the cabinet picks are clearly conservative, which is his right. Sure. He won. But they seem to be really digging in. And do you think that somebody like, some have also said, Mnuchin, they're going to dig in on because he was behind, his group was behind a lot of these foreclosures on these, these mortgage-backed securities. And do you think Scott Pruitt, who we just discussed for EPA, I mean, they're really going after Pruitt. Do you think they'll stop these guys from getting through? And how much capital does that expend when the Supreme Court justice fights come up?
Look, well, I think, first of all, the Democrats are going to be under enormous pressure. There's a spring session of the court. We already know that Trump is going to name one of the people on his list that he released months and months ago. They're all solid conservatives, but they're all widely respected jurists. I mean, nobody has suggested any of these aren't valid as Supreme Court nominees. So they'll bring that out very early, and the clock will start running, and the country's going to watch the Democrats twist themselves into pretzels. But let's take your deeper point, and I do think some of these guys have got to sort of earn their approval by doing really well in hearings and going to see senators and doing all the things you do in this process. But remember, Trump's he's not a normal Republican versus Democrat, right versus left guy. The example I tweeted about today is, jobs in Michigan by the Ford Motor Company, which is now going to invest $700 million in Michigan instead of Mexico. And the president of Ford said, look, we're doing this because we believe in the regulatory and tax reform that President-elect Trump is talking about. Now, what I tweeted today is, so how many Democrats in Michigan care enough about Michigan jobs to vote for the reforms that Ford says are essential to keep those jobs in Michigan? And that's going to this is going to be very different than anybody expects. This will not be a normal right versus left presidency. This will be a very innovative, very pragmatic presidency.